right, Extra Bases off-season edition. We've got a lot to talk about with head coach Aaron Earlywine, and we got off-season to talk about. We got signing day, and let's start right there as you welcome 6 new ball players on Wednesday who faxed in their letters of intent, and it's a class I know you're excited about. What are some of the highlights of the newest Tiger class?
Well, they do a little bit of everything, and this day is a big day for every program across the country. Finally getting those NLIs, and as early as the recruiting process is, you've almost known these kids for years before they finally sign the NLI. So it's finally here. It's a great feeling. But the class is well-rounded. We have a really good pitcher coming in from Iowa, a left-handed pitcher that has been clocked consistently in the upper 60s and low 70s. We have 3 or 4 kids who hit for power, and we got a couple of very athletic middle infielder type of kids. So really good class.
A national class, it seemed like, also, when you just go down the list, not only kids from in-state but around the country. And is that something that you've really enjoyed as the program has achieved this success, that you can go pretty much anywhere in the country and get kids you like?
Yeah, the success, you're right, it makes recruiting so much easier. The difference is now we're recruiting against the top schools in the country, whereas 5 years ago we were recruiting against some of the mid-tier schools. But so our battles are different now, but it's a better battle to have because you're getting better quality of kids, and that means less time you have to invest in those kids when you're coaching them because they're more polished players. And not to say that some of the kids that we've had aren't great players, because they certainly are. We've got kids on the national team and many All-Americans, et cetera. But I think this is just a continuation of some of the greatness that we've seen in the last few years, and I'm proud of them. They chose us over some really good schools. And, when you finally look down at that sheet and you see all the schools that they could have gone to, but they come to Mizzou, it is a great feeling of complete satisfaction that you've done your job and you've done it well.
Well, you're a busy guy right now because wrapping up fall ball here, and it's been a busy offseason. A lot of fans will look at it and say, hey, this is the offseason you replace some of those big names like Chelsea Thomas and Nicole Hudson, Jenna Marston, on down the list. How has it gone so far as you've transitioned here to this, I maybe even call it a new era?
Yeah, it's been okay. I mean, I'd be lying if I said, hey, we picked up right where we left off and we're just as good as we ever were. We're younger. If you come out and watch us, it's a completely different looking team. Our middle infield's different. Our corner infielders are different. Our outfield's going to be moved around. We have a completely different pitching staff. So from that perspective, if I'm a fan, that's exciting. It's a new deal, and the pot has totally been stirred up. We have a lot of work to do with a lot of that youth and so many very good freshmen. Just trying to catch them up to speed on the program and how we do things and the things they're going to have to adjust to play it at the top level of Division I. And so we've got some steps to make. We have a long way to go before we're a great team. But I think the talent and the pieces of the puzzle are here. It's just going to be a matter of time before we catch them up.
Fans of your program are already buzzing about the freshman pitchers. You've got a great duo in Finucane and Stengel, and kind of tell us about what you've seen from them so far.
Yeah, well, Finucane is a right-hander and Stengel's a left-hander. And Finucane throws really hard. She's upper 60s, low 70s, mostly rise ball, and a changeup is her number 2 pitch. And then Stengel's more low to mid 60s, and equally as good, probably up, down, and change. So I like the contrast that they present for one another. One throws really hard and she's right-handed, and the other one throws less hard and she's left-handed. So I think we're going to be able to do some coaching moves that will really give us good matchups. So I'm excited about that. And then we have a Laura Marble, a senior pitcher that transferred here from SEMO, that pitched 330 or 340 innings her last season at SEMO, was their ace. So I think she's going to be able to give us some good quality innings as well. And for anybody that followed our program last year, we know pitching depth's a pretty big deal. And so we got 3 kids that are going to give us good innings this year.
Offensively, lineup-wise, how are you seeing things these days?
Well, it's too early to tell, really. There's so much softball yet to play, and things are still working themselves out. But we returned quite a few good hitters from last year. We still have Kelsey Roth, and we still have the leading batting average on our team, which was Emily Crane in the leadoff spot. Corinne Genovese, Mackenzie Sykes. So kids like that are going to kind of be the core of our lineup. But then there's a lot of freshmen in the mix too. Natalie Fleming is a kid that's just been killing it this fall and playing third base, and Casey Stengel, left-handed power hitter, the kid we talked about as a pitcher. She's arguably our best power hitter right now in a left-handed bat. Samantha Fagan, the transfer from Florida, who's now eligible, could add a real interesting dynamic to our team. So Again, the talent is here to be a very, very good softball team again. It's just going to be a matter of kind of developing all those kids, getting them ready for the spring, and then really most importantly for anybody that's followed our program in the last couple of years is peaking when it's important to peak, which is at the end of the season, and we just haven't done that the last 2 years.
Well, we're a long way from that, but it sounds like things are coming together, at least early on here in the fall. Coach, we appreciate your time.
You bet. Thank you.
It's head coach Aaron Earlywine on an off-season edition of Extra Bases.